And he was against that because it didn't line up with his values. But he was for the guy getting smashed in the face because that did line up with his understanding of justice. How about that shit? And you know, nobody could answer it. And I know I made them people think, and I'm glad. I don't like that the black guy was picking on the homeless dude, but you don't go up and fucking punch him for that. That's over the top. You can go use words against him. That's allowed. That's legal. You know, these people claim the Constitution and amendments and laws when they serve their own belief system, and they discard them when they don't. And that's full bullshit right there. Lots of bullshit going on in America. Plenty of bullshit going on across the globe right now. I hope France snaps. I hope they get evil. They got to. Stop complaining just about wine and cheese and start doing your people justice. Go after the motherfuckers. 20 airstrikes isn't enough. It's got to be on the ground. There's got to be intelligence involved, and you need bodies and body counts to see what kind of damage you've done. ISIS recruits that are pouring in from Pakistan or Afghanistan into Syria, whatever, hit them. Hit them coming in. If you know for sure your intelligence is solid, hit them. As soon as someone says, I'm joining ISIS, you want the bomb to hit right between the ice and the is. Ba-blow, as they call it in the movies, and actual drone pilots call it, nice splash. Yeah, it's kind of sick, isn't it? Nice splash. I have a close friend that was a, whatever you call the guy that sights for the sniper. He did that for a while. And they have splashes too. Speaking of military, at the Indian reservation I was on this weekend, I met someone who said he was a Navy SEAL. And my friend said he wasn't. And the guy had a CB patch on. I can't remember what that stands for. It's like Combat Construction Battalion or something. I can't remember. So I think the truth is that this guy, this Native American, had worked with Navy SEALs. And that's probably what he said to me, and I just interpreted it as he's a Navy SEAL. But did you know that there's an organization now that goes out specifically to find people that say they're Navy SEALs but aren't, and it exposes them? Isn't that weird? What a weird thing. We don't have an organization out there that hunts down and displays information about those that have lied about X, Y, or Z, but Navy SEALs, yeah, we're going to expose them. That's just kind of weird. I wonder if they do it for firefighters. I'm a firefighter. Aha! This guy was in a bar trying to pick up a chick, said he was a firefighter. He's not a firefighter. He's a secretary at a construction yard. Let's expose him. I told you I was bringing random. I brought random. You're getting random. You guys in the chat room, feel free to mention something you'd like to discuss, and we can discuss it. Why don't you tell me what it is in the media that the media has all wrong right now? Is it Donald Trump? How do you think Donald Trump would do in office? Is Barack Obama a terrible president? Are we really worried about religious extremists taking over the country? Truly? Is that likely? If we're worried about borders, how come we never talk about the Canadian border? There's more statute miles for crossing there and less security than at the Mexican border. But we don't talk about it, do we? We don't talk about the coast and how people can get on boats and submarines. We don't talk about it. It's just the Mexican border we're worried about. Just the brown people. It's time to start acknowledging this shit. If you don't want to believe in the truth, fine. That's on you. But I'm telling you what's happening. I can't wait till we spread out. Get some people off this planet. That's what we need to do. Then you have that age-old philosophy question of how do you want your species represented? Who do you want to send off the planet to settle new planets in your name, humanity? All of a sudden it matters, doesn't it? Because you have a brand. Oh, we're the human brand. Well, you want to send your best? What are your best? Go to Pakistan and ask that question. You're going to get a different answer than if you go to Bolivia and ask that question, or you go to Canada. You're going to get all different answers. So my theory is send one from each. Yeah, that means we're going to have to send at least 400 people. And then they're all going to have to fuck, so you're going to have breeding. It's going to be a problem. And because there's not enough people, so the gene pool's more narrow, and then you don't want a bunch of people with Down syndrome, and I have respect for those people, but if you have Down syndrome on a planet, Oh, I'm going to chase the, the acid rain meteorite. Now he dies, so we can't have Down syndrome on a form. I mean, it's just, I mean, we could handle one case, but I mean, or if you have, let's say schizophrenics, as we talked about earlier, or psychopaths, that want to kill everybody on the planet. And since there's only 500 people at that point, it's not too hard to do. You just poke a hole in the dome, call it a day. Scientists have recently found that one of the most Earth-like planets we have discovered has been bombarded with ultraviolet radiation, basically gamma rays, so it's uninhabitable. And what people will do is they will read that story and think, see, we're never going to make it out there, or see, we're special. There's nobody else like us. When they won't stop to think that we have explored in any detail less than like 1/10,000th of 1% of the universe. There's a bunch of fucking Earth-like planets out there. Bunch of them. Getting to them, different story. You guys aren't very talkative in the chat room. That makes me want to be even more random. Oh, let's talk about vaginas. Now, I was watching a documentary recently, and it was about... the documentary, you can find it on YouTube, is called, I believe, The Perfect Vagina. And let's face it, we guys know what we want in a vagina. We do. And women, especially in Britain, are getting surgeries to produce that kind of vagina. Now, you would think that'd be a step beyond bleaching your asshole, say. But the truth is, they're going right out off the bat. 16 and 18-year-old girls. I got to get the vagina enhancement. So what they're doing in these vagina enhancements is they're puffing up the labia with, I guess, collagen implants. I don't know what they're using because I didn't watch the whole documentary. It was boring to me. But how about that? Getting the perfect vagina. Guys know what they want. I think we pretty much are afraid to say it because we're afraid we'll isolate or alienate some women. And we don't want to do that because deep down in the male human mind is the desire to spread your genes far and wide in the gene pool. So we don't want to say we want the perfect vagina. We don't want to alienate anybody, but the truth is we know what we want. You know what you want, male. You know what you want in a vagina. You know what a bad vagina is. You don't want to see a sad vagina. All right, if a lady lays on her side and does a little pose, and the vagina makes an unhappy face, as if it were lips, you just kind of imagine a face. If you need to, go ahead and look at some pictures on the internet, and just take a erasable marker and draw little eyes on the butt cheek there and the thigh, and then a little nose right down by that little crack below the butt cheek, and then make the lips a face. If it makes a sad face, and it only has a mustache on one side, and you're going, oh no, that looks like Steve Buscemi in a photo shoot. I don't want that vagina. That's a Steve Buscemi vagina. There's probably bad teeth in there. And it's probably like Armageddon where he's like, I want to shoot this big gun. Yeah, we don't want that. We want a vagina that has nice, full labia and smiles at us and says, hi there, you big boy. Welcome to me. I'm going to take you in and show you a great time. And I have such great elasticity that after you leave, I will recover my natural tightness. Oh yeah, I'm getting into it now, aren't I? Yeah, and you know what women want in a penis? Chocolate. Yeah, just fucking chocolate. That's what they want. If your penis has chocolate, you're getting laid forever. I'm dead serious. I'm probably going to get the surgery. It's just a little extra compartment they put in there. It just has chocolate. It's no big deal. Now, if you had a chocolate pussy, and I'm not talking about like a moon pie. You know, you don't, I mean, you could call it that, but then there'd have marshmallows because you don't want anything white coming out. That's bad news. It's really about the odor, women. I probably should tell you that. It's, I have to consider myself the average male in this respect, even though I don't know for sure if I am, but I want it to smell like a fresh spring rain, if that's okay with you. Falling in a grassy meadow, full of life but cleanliness. Yeah, I don't want mysteries. I don't want mystery smells. Oh no, what is that? That's a bad thing to if it starts off with what is that smell, then I know I'm in, I got to leave. I'm sorry I'm leaving. I got other things to do. I forgot. Maybe some other guy will do you. I got to go do this. I don't know how you do that politely, but do not want a mystery smell coming from the... If it smells like bananas, that's a problem. My question is, why would a vagina smell like a tropical fruit? No, I don't want that. I don't want that. If it smells like a new car, you would think that'd be great, but a vagina ain't supposed to smell like a new car. So the question is, who are you? Are you a fucking cyborg? I have that question to ask, and that's going to offend you, and it's going to ruin the moment. And the whole thing is, I didn't expect your vagina to smell like leather. That throws me. Not that I run into that problem often, but, that's the way it is. I haven't been near a vagina in probably 5 months, which is fine with me. I'm perfectly fine with it. I'll get near one when I'm ready to. Vaginas. One of the most mysterious things on the planet Earth, the female vagina. Now being enhanced by implants and surgeries. I got news, though, ladies. I think you're in trouble, because the sex dolls they were making in Germany that were selling for $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 a piece are now getting essentially robotic vaginal muscle implants, so they can do whatever a guy wants them to do on a whim. They do not have to be taken out for dinner or brought roses or have poetry written to them. Now, there are still those of us men that appreciate the romantic element of life, and despite the movie Her, we're going to want to impress our lady. It's a natural instinct, I think. However, for those that can't really find a pretty lady, those robots, some of them are fucking beautiful. And soon they'll be acting, they'll be using artificial intelligence and acting pretty real, and they'll have self-cleaning systems. And you got to wonder, if that's coming in 20, 30 years, what are we looking at 200 years down the road, 300 years? We're looking at female figures that, with the correct intelligence and the correct artificial intelligence and the perfect, absolutely molded from a man's specs bodies, holy shit, it's going to be hard to get him out of the house to meet him at the bar or the church or the library or the grocery store, isn't it? Yeah. She'll do whatever he says whenever he says it. She'll be perfect every time. And she will not need chocolate. You don't have to get a chocolate penis. I don't know. That's what I see coming. So that's going to affect population as well. However, let's remember the women are going to have access to the same types of robots, so they'll have men that can go all night and sing them songs the whole time. You do have that problem. We may be looking at a problem for the human species now. I was watching a movie the other day that was in HD, Super HD, and it looked more real than reality. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, but I miss that old Hollywood fog. There used to be a kind of a fog when you watched a movie. And now it all looks like soap opera footage. It's a little too perfect, too clean. And, I don't know how much more HD we can go, but we're already more HD than our reality is. That's weirding me out a little. So won't those sex robots go the same way? I think so. Yeah, they're going to be better than any human you could find, because you can design them from head to toe, everything you want in them. And you'll only have to wrestle with that old philosophy question, what is alive? What is alive? As long as the truth about men doing sheep exists, I'll have to believe that most female robots within a couple hundred years are going to be pretty satisfactory to men. You could warm their skin to the right temperature. You could have them, you could program their personality, kind of like in one of those Sims games. Have them be more funny or more serious or more sexy, or maybe that's what's going to kill breeding. Breeding's going to have to be done in a lab. The thing about it, though, is women will always want to have babies. The biological clock ticks, and a robot can't satisfy that. Then they're going to go after real men. I don't know. I wonder if men have a biological clock. I wonder if men have a deep need that we're not aware of, and we won't be aware of till we get experience with robots to produce offspring, truly produce offspring. I don't know if we're smart enough to care about that. KtAp BrInGs RaNdOm is the show. Truth on Tap. Kevin A. Kierside is your host. Muff is a cool word. But muff rhymes with words that were not